there, folks. It's episode 13, Kiki's delivery service of Shredded Cels. I'm your host, Matthew Lunn.
I'm Jeremy Zajac.
I'm Clara Heimberger.
And I'm Chris Flake.
And we're here, like we said, to talk about a little bit of Kiki's delivery service. But to start off, let's see what people have been watching. How about you, Jeremy? What have you been watching recently?
Well, I've been trying to watch through Fate Zero, but I'm really busy because unlike a lot of the people apparently in this little club, I'm the only person who actually takes classes.
So how is Fate Zero? I know that's for the other podcast. But
I'm actually enjoying it so far. It's an interesting one. I got some people together to watch Jinro, although I'm not sure how many people actually watched it.
I did.
I paid attention as much as I could over the talking.
Over the talk,
Still
let's sneak
fine.
this in, folks, because Alex will listen to this podcast. It's Alex and Kenny. They were terrible people, but it's okay. I'm not in charge of that review. That's Alex's fault. I am in charge of Kiki's delivery service, so yay! But I think last time you were telling me you saw a little bit of Samurai 7.
Yeah, I did. As I said before, I'm trying to get into the show. The only problem is I can't watch it every Saturday because I'm busy. But, when I can watch it, it's enjoyable. And like everyone else who's ever watched the show, the Robo Samurai is my favorite character.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forget what his name is, but gotta love him. He's the best. Stupid.
Also, I've been trying to rewatch Eureka 7. I can't get into it. I can't.
The beginning stuff is rough. I'll admit that. Like, I've tried to go back and rewatch it. The very first, I'd say at least a good 15 episodes. When he's on the Gecko State and they're all trying to pick on him. Once you get past that, I would just wait. When the good stuff comes back on, with when he leaves and Charles and Ray. Did you ever see the whole series?
No, I think I quit around the 12 episode mark. It's I can't stand this anymore.
Wait a little while. Watch the ending. The ending, the ending is totally, it justifies it. I mean, okay, maybe not the beginning. The beginning's a little rough, but Eureka 7, it's a good show. I mean, it's not on my top 10, but it does a good job when it needs to.
I haven't had a chance to watch a lot, but I've been reading this series called God of High School, which it's Korean, so sometimes the names are hard for me to remember because I'm used to the Japanese names, but I really like it so far.
I mean, I have that problem too sometimes where it's who's this and who's that? How about you, Chris? Have you been watching anything lately?
Just Naruto. Well, actually, no, and Fate Zero.
How's that going?
I have to... do we have to finish it by the end of this month?
Yes.
Or next week?
I think it's by the end of the month.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm on episode 4, and so it's interesting.
Not your cup of tea, though?
No, it's definitely good. I don't know the whole story yet.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's
I saw
interesting.
a few episodes over at at a screening on Friday, and I kept watching the episode. It's okay, it's going to end now. No, it's going to end now. No, and it's when is this episode going to end? And it just never sort of ends.
It takes forever to end, but at least it's still fun. So I don't know.
It feels like that series, just from the 2 episodes I saw of it. It seems like the pacing's got some problems.
Jeremy, did you get the feeling that it was like a video game?
Yeah.
Because they have classes, and then the assassin said that they're ranked above A as the parameters. I was like, is that their attributes or something? Do we put points into it? What's going on?
Well, that sounds pretty bad.
I'm not certain. I'm not really that heavily into anime-based games. I almost feel like there are Fate Stay night games, but I
there is. It's actually the Fate series, I believe, is an adult game series. Just
and
put
that's
that
exactly why I didn't know if it existed or not, because I ain't into that.
Exactly. But that's the other sad thing. With a lot of moe shows, they're originally adult, basically hentai games.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
I'm just saying that's what Japan's making now. They don't make enough bebops because. What can I say? I mean, so what I've been watching recently, I actually watched the last 4 episodes of Bebop last night. I had a friend who had watched most of the series over the weekend, and I had her come in, and we watched. She's like, I don't want to. She basically said, I hate you because Spike dies in the end. Big spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
the series is almost like 10 years old now, isn't it?
Exactly. But she didn't know that. She didn't know that. So.
I wouldn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Well, yeah, now I do. I probably
Spike
never
dies.
watch it though.
You don't like Bebop?
I liked the movie, but I never would take the time to just sit down and watch it.
It's a good show. I revisited it. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's either my number 2 or number 3 of my top 10. So, but I watched that. I also have been watching a magical girl show. Yes, a magical girl show called Madoka Magica, which basically is this. It basically undermines the whole idea of the magical girl genre and basically breaks it apart, so to say. It's pretty weird though. It goes to like a lot of not stop motion, but a lot of Photoshop cutout images. Like there's dandelions that have mustaches that are like with it's really weird.
I like those dandelions.
They
sound really cool.
Like they have like scissors, like it's really out there but it's a good show. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but as someone who's going into animation, I accept everything of anime except Moe.
Why?
Because Moe is the sniper. We don't have enough bebops in the world because of Moe. Moe is the sniper. It snipes the good anime.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
I'm quoting that from another anime podcast. So, I guess if we move on to our discussion then, do we want to move on to the discussion, I guess?
Were we supposed to cover something else first?
Like Toonami?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess if anyone's paying attention to the old Toonami nowadays, other than myself and Jeremy occasionally, they're now on a full 6-hour block run. Midnight Run is back, so can't complain about that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it because my TV.
I'm doing that old commercial of the crying Indian? I'm doing that right now for Matt. Just a single tear.
Hey, I was expecting, I'm like, I'm going to watch some Toonami tonight. And then I go to my room and it's like, turn on my TV. And I just get this static channel. It's like, no.
Is your cable plugged in?
It is plugged in.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Yes, I did. The point is, it worked 2 weeks ago, and then I go, I'm going to watch some Toonami, and then I turn it on, it doesn't work.
No.
Is it in the wall?
It is plugged into the wall.
Are you sure about that?
I unplugged it from the TV, and I unplugged it from the wall, and then I replugged it in.
Did you try sweet talking it? Sometimes that works.
I started cursing at it, which I don't think.
Well, it probably felt scared and
Have you tried the holy ritual of the knock?
Well, the problem is I would do the smack, the smack or the kick, but the problem is it's my TV, so I don't really want to do that to the TV.
Do it to the cord then. What the hell are you talking about?
That's so thin. How do you kick it's just a cord?
With a lot of skill.
Do I need to go outside and start whipping around like a whip and go, yeah?
Your name is Cable.
It's probably on the wrong input.
No, it's not. It is not on the wrong input. I checked. It was on cable, and it didn't work. So, but yeah, the point is with Toonami, they brought back Symbionic Titan, which is by the director who did Samurai Jack.
I missed that show.
Dexter's Lab. Yeah, he did Dexter's Lab as well. So, it looks good. It looks like a good show, but unfortunately, Cartoon Network canceled it because it doesn't have a toy line. We didn't make any toys. And it's like, well, what other of your shows have toys?
Well, of course, Matt, it would be the other show that got moved to Toonami.
Oh, Thundercats, yeah. Notice how, and that's kind of the sad thing. They're great shows, but the 2 shows that got put on Toonami are shows that are done. Like, they're not getting any more episodes, so...
I don't know, if there is always that slim chance that if they do well enough in the Toonami block that they'll get enough funding to keep going.
Yeah, but right now, the time slot they're putting, it only gets like 500 or 600,000 viewers, which you at least need, I want to say, like 2 million viewers or higher to produce an animation. So unless Toonami gets like great ratings all of a sudden, which I doubt it because the most it's gotten is it's peaked is at like 1 million for Bleach, and then it's subsequent. Yeah, 1 million people watch Bleach, and that's the only reason Bleach is on that network.
Why?
I never finished that. I started reading it, and
it's
not done
yet. You can't finish it because it's still not done.
I know, it's like...
Well, the anime stopped, too. They stopped at episode, like, 326. Yeah, 326. It just stopped because it's doing bad in Japan. And if you know a shonen show is doing bad in Japan, then it's just terrible.
Yeah.
But apparently people want to still watch it. I mean, they even made a Toonami bump for like, you should really watch, Bleach.
How do you know it's doing bad in Japan?
Because they ended its TV run and they told Tite Kubo, you need to finish this in one more story arc and then it's done.
Dun, dun,
My
dun.
biggest problem with Bleach is that Kubo has admitted more than once that whenever he writes himself into a corner, he'll just start adding more characters to the story.
Yeah, that's not a wise decision.
So I don't know about anyone else, but the longer that Bleach has gone on now, I can't name more than maybe 15 characters because it's overload.
Like
I
said,
can name the main 4 or 5.
the first 63 episodes are so good. You save Rukia, that's it. That's done. No more.
Yeah.
We're done here. Bleach is over. No more. I mean, why is it even called Bleach?
I don't know. I thought like maybe like purging of souls or something
It
like
might have
that, but
something to
I
do with the
don't
fact
even
that-
know.
If I had to take a stab in the dark, I would guess it had something to do with the fact that the color of the Hollow's mask is bone bleach white.
Maybe, but
Maybe they never say exactly like any hints at all. I guess.
I know it's
like,
kind of an iffy name for a television show.
So yeah,
But,
Bleach.
yeah, but here we are, debating why a anime / manga that's been going on for years now has a name instead of actually covering the main topic.
Okay, so as Jeremy wants to move along, that one, what's that Maroon 5 song?
That's not Maroon 5.
That's-
It's All American
Oh,
Rejects.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
that
that's
song.
American Rejects.
And
That
the
was
name
in-
of the song is Move Along.
I always loved those Bionicle commercials that had that song, and it always made me so happy when they were on TV.
I miss Bionicle.
Me
But moving
too.
on.
So yeah, I guess we should really talk about, what this show's about. And that would be Kiki's Delivery Service. Hayao Miyazaki's, I just butchered his name, but Hayao Miyazaki's film back from 1989.
It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite either.
Again, it's not that the problem is I'm one of Miyazaki's fans that is unfortunately willing to admit, and I won't do this around like the Miyazaki fanboys because I'm afraid.
Oh no, you don't tell
him.
him. You don't tell him Howl's Moving Castle is not what it is. It's
I really don't like Howl's Moving Castle.
nope. Neither do I. I mean, it's a good film, but the fact that
It's stupid.
the plot, the ending of him turning into the prince revolves along a line. It revolves around one piece of dialogue when she's in the alley. Hey, did you hear their prince is kidnapped? There's gonna be a war.
Well, thing is, like, with the movie, the main focus was supposed to be with Howl and Sophie, not so much the war. But, I mean, like, if they wanted it to be, they could have made it a bigger deal. But they just didn't.
But that's the problem, that one line of dialogue explains why Turnip Head turns into the prince. That's not... No.
I didn't write it. Stop looking at me.
I'm not saying it. It's just... But no. But Kiki's Delivery Service, it's a good film. It belongs under his name, the Ghibli trademark, yada, yada, yada. But
It's purdy.
it is purdy. But the second half of the film does drag a bit. I'm curious, what do you think, Chris, on that? Like the first half, you've got sarcastic Gigi, which we'll come to that in a moment.
Can't wait.
But the point is, the beginning of the film, Gigi's sarcastic. Yes, there's lots and lots of cars, and just stuff like. He makes the film, and then when Kiki starts losing her magical powers, it's like he can't talk to her. So there went comedy relief. I mean, what's the boy's name?
We called him
Hold
Waldo.
on. Tombo. Tombo?
Tombo.
Tombo.
Yeah, that was
Tombo.
it. Tombo. I mean, we'll just call him Waldo. I mean,
Probably why we did it. Gigi was my favorite, although then when he stopped talking, I was kind of upset because I mean he was great.
he made
it funny.
He made the film. Let's get rid of it. It's no longer Kiki's Delivery Service. It's Gigi's.
Sarcastic adventures with the crazy witch girl.
Yeah. So on that note about Gigi, though, we the three of us and everyone else who was there, but all agreed that Gigi is the reincarnation of Jeremy as a cat.
Honestly, I don't see it.
It's
Not because, yes, we're both sarcastic, but the problem is that the cat layers it on so thickly that it's almost like overwhelming.
So basically, Jeremy, to put it in a bakery perspective, since there is a bakery, you make baguettes while Gigi's making whole cakes and stuff.
That's actually a little insulting. I am apparently outdone by an anime cat that has approximately 75 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
Thanks, you jerk.
It's okay. You'll always know. And I mean, Gigi. That's not with it. Does it start with a G?
No,
it's a
it's
J.
a J.
J for Jeremy. J for Gigi.
I'd like to point
Destiny.
out that the cat. The movie came out before I was born, so
You're the reincarnation of the cat.
Oh, God.
I like your thinking, Clara. That's the right way. The spirit. So no, I mean, Gigi really made the film what it was, and then
I think he turned it into a kids movie.
He did. Or when they
but
were.
then when you took it away, then it was.
Well, even remember the line when Kiki was like, "Oh yeah, the artist lady wants to paint me," and then he's like naked, and she's like, "Gigi."
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
I don't think I caught that line until we watched it in Matt's room, and I was like, "Oh, Gigi, you silly head."
I mean, he makes the first part of the film really good, and then the second half of the film, it's okay. I mean, when she goes to save Waldo, who's dangling from the rope, it's like, okay. And everyone's just, watching. It's like, oh, because, they come over with the trampoline, but, at the end, it's like, couldn't you just put the trampoline under him, and he's hanging there, just maybe save a bone or two?
I'll be the one to point this out. Trampolines do not work that way.
They never do. But
then how do they work?
In movies, they do.
I know.
Expect it.
So no, I mean, moving on from that topic though, I did want to point out the film does have some similarities to Howl. Maybe feel wise. I mean, can you get that?
Like with the whole magic thing? Or?
Well, a little with the magic thing, but also the whole, when she goes to her room, just her room, how it's dirty, okay, maybe this is a stretch, but it feels like Kiki's delivery service is a little bit of a slice of life. It's a slice of life of, Kiki's, that's what slice of life is, it's an adventure about this person and whatnot. And that's sort of what Howl is too. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe that's just me.
I think you're
see
stretching
a little bit.
You think I'm stretching a little bit?
I mean, with Kiki, it's like she's learning to grow up, and when she leaves her home, she's very immature and very just overly optimistic and naive about the world. So when she actually gets that huge dose of reality in that ocean town, it's like she's forced to mature past what she's used to. Yeah. And I think that's why her powers disappeared, because she was just in so much shock of how much was happening around her.
Mm-hmm. That's probably that's a true argument. I can't complain about that. But as far as the soundtrack goes, we all know Joe Hisashi, or if you've watched any of other Miyazaki's films, he does all the music other than Castle Cagliostro. He does all the music for all of Miyazaki's films. And re-listening to the soundtrack of Kiki, normally when I think of a Miyazaki film, I think of the soundtrack from Princess Mononoke. I think of Howl, just because Howl has that catchy tune, or Laputa. I always think of those three films, and I never really go to look at Kiki. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know. Any thoughts on that, or am I just overlooking that too?
Sometimes I hear the same tunes, like what you said of Howl when he's burrowing himself into his room.
You can hear the little bit of Princess Mononoke squeaking, which gets me a little worried, because it's like, Joe, come on, Joe, don't be creative. Don't make the same piece over and over and over and over. But I mean, I don't know how old he is, but people get old and they get.
That's not what it is, but good try. What if I had to take a stab in the dark? It's not that he's recycling it. He's actually, he's actually replaying the themes in similar movies by him to show that different characters in Miyazaki's. Oh my God, in Miyazaki's movies have similar traits.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm trying to.
I guess Kiki's kind of like Howl in the maturity levels, but like
that was. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's probably what really bothered me about Howl's Moving Castle. It's the fact that Howl was a man-child.
Well, he had no heart.
He was a Peter Pan man-child. And he had a little boy servant. Did that not bother anyone else?
I don't know where Markle came from. That's never explained where he comes from.
He's just there. Like, and I love how he does the old grandfall. Like,
he's my favorite.
Betty boy. See, in the book, he's not a cute little boy.
What?
No, in the actual real novel, he's a 17-year-old, really tall, black. And he's learning magic under Howl. And the castle is not this cool moving castle. It's just literally a castle that's floating along. Like a Star Destroyer over Tatooine. Just like... So yeah, the book has some issues, but what can I say?
I feel like if they would have made it as the book, it would not have been as fun to watch, I guess.
No, it wouldn't have. But back to Kiki, since we keep going to Howl, even though it's like, let's tear apart Howl, let's eat it.
Who's Kiki? It's all about Gigi.
It is all about Gigi. Kiki, Gigi's delivery service. I think we could change that.
Just gotta change one letter.
Miyazaki-san, you gotta go change this. Or I should say sensei, since he's like...
Yeah.
He's old. But hey, I'm looking forward to his next film. It's basically about the designer of the... the planes they used in World War II for kamikaze?
The Zeros?
The Zeros. It's about the designer who made the Zero.
Ooh.
So it's like... It's another flight film because Porco Rosso, Miyazaki loves flight, but I'm really looking into that.
No offense. I'm just not a fan of nonfiction.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He could probably do that. That's not. Well, you don't think he could do a good job with that? I mean.
No. He might be able to do a good job. I could very well be impressed with it. It's just like I'm not a big fan of nonfiction. Or based on the whole based on historical events thing. Every time I see that movie, it's like nap time.
Nap time. Hey, I liked it's always stretched beyond the truth. But the point is, I'm a little worried just because the last few films Miyazaki's made have not been my favorite.
I liked Ponyo. I didn't see Arrietty yet.
I enjoyed Arrietty. Arrietty I thought was good. I didn't like Ponyo.
I liked Ponyo.
He didn't direct it though. Like he did everything else though. Like so technically he did the screenplay, he wrote the story, just he didn't do the directing.
I don't think that would have helped Ponyo. Honestly.
No. I see what the idea that Miyazaki was trying to do is like I want to make a kids film for kids.
Except it's not a kids film. In fact, it's a little uncomfortable to watch. Watch it.
Why?
Let's see here. We have Aleister Crowley, aka Liam Neeson, as Mr. Creepy.
Mr. Creepy.
Just kind of wandering around. Yeah, I don't know.
You need to go to...
This is supposed to be like a 5 or 6 year old's movie. I'd be really uncomfortable as a 5 or 6 year old watching that on screen.
Have you gone to That Guy with the Glasses before? You need to watch what Nostalgia Critics review of Ponyo. You would like it. I honestly he tears apart Ponyo sort of. Like he says he likes the film though, but
he has to say that.
Yeah, semi. But yeah, you can't say that's a bad Miyazaki film where you'll be like hunted down, and shot to death.
We're not kidding. The Miyazaki fans are scary people.
Yes, but I liked Arrietty. It's a good film, but as far as films that Miyazaki has directed, because that's how people look on the world, which is kind of stupid, but. Ponyo, no. Ponyo was, thank you. And then we had Howl, which is, lots of people like it, but...
It's pretty, but it's not a very smart movie.
It's pretty, exactly. That's the argument for Howl. It's a very gorgeous film, but...
try to block out the dialogue. Actually, that's the way to really enjoy.
Calcifer is so funny though.
He's my favorite.
He's my
Here's
favorite.
another curse. May all your bacon burn.
Exactly. He's just.
I get the feeling we need to rename this podcast instead of Kiki's Delivery Service to
Howl's Moving
Howl's
Castle.
Moving Castle.
Well, to Miyazaki films.
Well, we already did technically one of those
I know,
last year.
and we've already
No,
sidetracked so far already.
We only watched one Miyazaki, and that was Mononoke.
Oh yeah, that was.
We really haven't.
No, we did Castle Cagliostro.
That was for a different one.
Oh yeah, that was for a different podcast. But the point.
So far, though, I would argue that Cagliostro is definitely tied for first place for my favorite Miyazaki film.
I
with,
recently,
Castle in the Sky.
I recently saw that one and I fell in love with it.
It's because it's not like a normal Miyazaki film. It's funny.
Exactly.
Like, no offense to the other Miyazaki films, but like there are some humor elements in them. But for the most part, they're a little serious. Castle of Cagliostro is ridiculous to the degree that I love it. Now, sometimes people will give me crap about the fact that, like, why do you get ridiculous stuff like that? Why do you let ridiculous stuff like that? You won't make a comment about that, but you'll make comments about other ridiculous stuff in other films. And I go, it's because this film was supposed to be silly.
Well, it's like, I mean, I'm probably going to go back and rewatch. I've got a friend who's going to get me the old Bo.
I miss that
Yes!
so much. Oh my god.
I mean, that is
The
just a show, like...
ending.
See, I have a problem when a show takes itself seriously and then tries to go, I'm going to be all wacky hijinks. But if it's a show that's already just creepy, like, Bo, he fights people with his nose hair.
I love that
I'm
show
not gonna say anything.
too
Also,
much.
I didn't watch it.
He can weaponize his afro as well.
Exactly.
Everything
Sounds
about
stupid.
him is a weapon.
And he has, like,
He's like Johnny
Well, weaponize
Bravo,
my
but
hair.
ridiculous.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
he's-
no,
with that.
Even more
No,
ridiculous.
you're right though. You are right. He is a Japanese Johnny Bravo who is not as much of a womanizer.
exactly.
That
So-
is literally what Bo is.
Like, I remember when I was
Besides
watching
the
it
thing,
on
maybe.
Cartoon Network, and the last episode, they left it, like, they tried to make the biggest possible cliffhanger they possibly could, and then ended the whole thing, and I was so mad.
Was that just because they cut it off the episodes? Or
No,
just-
it was just the end.
That-
Like,
the
they weren't
end.
going to make anything else, and then they're like, let's make the biggest cliffhanger possible. They introduced, like, 3 new bad guys and a huge weapon, and I was like, this is not funny. I hate you all.
That show would do that.
No, it's and the before that the final villain that they face. The animation budget ran out. He's just like this silly just caricature like demon drawing. It's not even colored in. It's just like straight up white with a number.
I love how much they break the fourth wall. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. But back to Kiki.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, does anyone else have anything to say about Kiki? I
I guess that's kind of the problem with Kiki. It's a decent film, but there's not much to talk about with it.
There really
honestly.
is, and it's just so basic.
it's just, you know,
It's enjoyable.
I remember
it's
watching
a good movie. It's just basic.
Like,
So
when
we
I
try
was
and talk
first
about
saw it for the, like, first time I watched it when I was littler and
Littler.
littler than I
Smaller.
am. Shut up. And smaller than I am now. When she lost her magic, I remember just feeling so depressed afterwards. I'm like, I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. It just totally put a damper on everything because she got so angsty, and then the whole movie was like so just blah.
See, I understand that the point of the movie is it's a coming of age story and the loss of childhood innocence, but really, it's, what? What?
The way that you said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty straight to the point when it comes to this sort of thing. But anyway, I understand that, and that's great. But there's so many movies that do this. It's kind of redundant to just talk about that. So I guess that's kind of why we're all kind of hard pressed right now to talk about Kiki's, because we're trying to look beyond that, just like what we enjoyed about the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're in college, so that's. I mean, I originally saw this film back before I knew it was anime. If you actually wanted to pick, I know I said Princess Mononoke was my
Princess
first.
Miyazaki?
Princess Miyazaki. You're never gonna let me go on that.
Oh, hell no.
So yeah, when I first saw Princess Mononoke on Toonami, I didn't get to finish it because my parents got home and said go to bed. So it's like okay, and
That's what you said?
No, but the point is I woke up the next morning. I'm like I gotta find this DVD, and I didn't remember what it was called. You know, it was Month of Miyazaki. So I'm like Princess Miyazaki. And So that's how that ended up turning out. I mean, I eventually got the disc. I fell in love with it. And that's one thing. I don't think Kiki necessarily does that. When I watch a Miyazaki film, or when I first watch them, like Castle in the Sky or Nausicaa or just, like Princess Mononoke, my mind was on that, thinking about that movie for a good 2 or 3 days after I had seen that movie for the first time. It was like, it just blew me away. I mean, that was also before I was into anime, and it's like, at that time, I wasn't into, I thought, animation is for kids, I was under this impression, yada, yada, yada. But then I watched this film, and I'm like, whoa, this exists. You can do this with this medium. That's my hat, Chris.
I took it.
Anywho.
So, yeah, I guess there's nothing much more to say on Kiki's Delivery Service other than it's a good film, but
it's not one of Miyazaki's stronger films.
It's not. I mean, I have to, like you said, Castle Cagliostro, or my 2 personal favorites, Princess Mononoke and, Castle in the Sky.
Castle in the Sky and, again, Castle Cagliostro are my 2 favorites.
Both with castles. Except, wait, no, okay, I was going to try to think, maybe anything Miyazaki makes with castle, and like, oh wait, no, Howl's Moving Castle.
It's not a castle, it's not a castle thing.
So
with Howl, in the end, how did they gather all of those pieces back up and make a giant flying castle?
'Cause it's magic.
That's what I want to know, where they
Magic.
found everything.
Magic's the
Your
answer.
argument is invalid. Magic!
My hair is a bird, your argument's invalid.
Magic!
No.
Spike
Her
the
hair
mic,
is
spike
not
the
a
mic.
bird.
So I guess that brings us to our final little zippity doodah then about what do we want to watch next time, since this is group 2, sort of, half there.
Now,
Are we supposed to do a Jinro one?
that's for the other group.
That's for the other group.
Oh.
This is group B that I'm
in
leading.
both groups. So
Yeah,
I'm in
Yeah,
both
so am I.
groups.
What else is there that we could
Well, I do have a list.
Okay.
I fashioned a list. So,
It looks like a
Wait.
long list.
no, this was also stuff for to talk about.
Okay.
But obviously we ran out of stuff for Kiki since. So, there's Kids on the Slope, but I kind of want to wait for that for the dub, just because that's same director who did Bebop. And,
Okay.
I also have a show called Habime Rimme. I'm completely butchering that name. It's psychological stuff, so I don't know. Maybe not. I'm going to have to suggest that out of anything I would really recommend us to watch is Space Adventure Cobra. I know I showed you that terrible trailer last.
I feel like I've seen that before.
No, you have, it was good. It was a legitimately good movie. I watched it over the summer. It was legitimately good.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I mean, it's old. It's 80s. So you got to get past that step. It's 80s. It's old, but it was good.
We don't like old.
We don't like old. Or what about Sword of the Stranger?
That's on Hulu now, actually.
Well, I'm going to go back home this weekend and we can watch it on Blu-ray.
Do that again.
Blu-ray. The point is, yeah, I know Alex wants to review Summer Wars, but until I bring the Blu-ray, no. Blu-ray.
Honestly, I can't think of anything right now. I'm trying to think of See, the problem is that I suggest either really good movies or I suggest really bad movies. That's my whole thing.
We should watch the entire season of Bobo 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 Bobo.
I would be personally up for that. Although
The only what I feel like we should do with that though is that we should just marathon that mother.
oh yeah, I mean,
How many episodes is it? It's like 26.
There are a lot.
No,
in
it's
the
40.
first,
It's up in the 40.
Oh, it's 40.
there are in the first
But we could do like a
20
section of it.
them
I
are-
mean,
oh my god.
we don't. It doesn't have to be a full.
I would say just do like a 10 episode marathon of it.
Alex isn't going to be happy with that show though.
Bite me.
Because
He's outvoted.
I don't care. That show is awesome. Alex's opinion doesn't matter in this case.
Because technically, the way we're getting the means of this show are not. There's no.
No, never mind then.
See, that's the thing.
No.
That's the
I'm
problem.
not going to jail for a podcast. Nope.
Boo.
What?
You can't go to jail. But so, do we want to do? Or here's another thing that's also on Hulu. Marduk Scramble. It's.
I was watching Bobo Bobo on YouTube. So
But is it the official release though?
I don't know.
That's what Alex is going to get all
I don't know.
Thor-like with his hammer. He's going to be like, is it legal? No.
I don't know.
You know, I'm still going to keep throwing this into the ring up until someone takes it. But this is one that you have to kind of watch in a small group. Otherwise, it just gets more awkward the more people you have in the room. What is the only movie in the Holy Trinity that we have not seen yet, Matt?
Oh, Mad Bull 34. That's on DVD now.
You don't want to buy it.
I know. I don't want to buy it. That's why I don't want to watch it.
Your maniacal laugh worries me. I'm
No, it's
concerned
bad.
about what
Don't-
this thing is. I'm concerned about what
Suffer
this
like
is.
I have.
Suffer like you have?
It's like Angel Cop bad, except
Oh
worse.
no! Oh no!
Because Angel Cop is part of the Holy Trinity of suck. There are 3 things that make the Holy Trinity of suck. That is Angel Cop, that is Sword for Truth, and Mad Bull 34. So we want to do Sword of the Stranger? Sword of the Stranger? It's a good film.
You know, I'm kind of leaning away from it right now.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not really sure why. Just, you know.
Well, then what do you... I need suggestions.
What about
Suggestions. Anything.
What about
anything.
Wings of Hanamais?
I'll
What?
watch anything.
Wings of Hanamais.
I have that Blu-ray.
I know you do. That's why I suggested
And I really want to watch it. And everyone else has been like, no, I don't want to watch that. It's an old film. I've been waiting for you to say, let's watch it, Matt.
I'm more.
I've been waiting for your Captain Planet power so I can become Captain Planet. Wind.
Water.
Fire.
It's fire. Earth. Fire. Wind. Water. Heart. Go planet.
With
Anywho.
your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Lol.
Lol. So,
Okay. Anyway.
I
Why am I
guess...
friends with you people?
Well, what
You gotta
about
Because otherwise you wouldn't have any friends at all.
Hey,
Have
hey, that's not
Have
true.
you seen
It's not true.
Appleseed? It's not animated, but I mean,
I got a roommate.
Appleseed. It's animated. It's just 3D.
well, I mean, yeah, it's like 3D, but
I don't know. What you're
Appleseed,
talking- Kenneth is one of us.
I
what
don't,
you're
I don't know.
talking
I like I'm just throwing stuff out there.
It's okay. It's a good thing.
I've seen it like 4 times.
What about we do 2 films? I mean,
about. Okay.
we'll do Wings of Animes and Sword of the Stranger. We'll do back.
See, I feel like we should do since Wings of Hanamais is kind of a really serious movie. I'm gonna say let's go with a less serious one to go with it.
Sword of the Stranger isn't that serious. It's,
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I've never actually seen Sword of the Stranger.
okay, it's a good samurai flick. Like it's basically what it's like Ninja Scroll. It's not as funny, but it's good. It's legitimately good. It's a good action.
Wasn't funny.
The old geezer. You have to admit.
Okay, he was okay. I chuckled sometimes when he was on screen, but he honestly kind of made me uncomfortable, and I know that's what they were aiming for.
So okay, do we want to do that then? I mean, it's 2 films. I know that's kind of like why are we doing 2 films? But just in case we don't get enough discussion, like because we didn't get enough discussion out of Kiki this time.
No.
So
It's a little disappointing.
yeah, it's a little disappointing. So why don't we do 2 movies and we'll have ample time to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that sound like a good idea?
Sure.
That
Yes.
sounds good. Okay, well, I guess that concludes our podcast for today. So I'm your host, Matthew Lunn.
I'm Chris Flake.
I'm Clara Heimberger.
And I'm Jeremy Zajac.
And this is a Shredded Cels, episode 13, not Kiki's Delivery Service episode. So that's what we'll do, not Kiki's Delivery Service.
Sort of, kind of geeky.
Sort of, kind of. I like that. That's
Sorta,
how
kinda.
that will be the official title for this episode. So Shredded Cels is a podcast, part of Tech Heads. You can find us on our blog, Facebook, Twitter. And is there one more?
Facebook,
Twitter, blog. This is my first time, folks, so, just get used to it.
I don't know, because honestly, I don't check any of them.
Don't say that. Don't say that. So,
No. It's not because I don't like the group. It's just that I'm not, I don't major in this stuff, so it's kind of like this is about as far as my interest goes into it.
yeah, that works for me. So, okie dokie, folks. Thanks for listening. I hope we didn't bore you to death with some awkward silences as Chris bobs his head up and down.
This product is copyright AVW Productions 2020.